to everyone to the next webinar on outsourcing your niche website. My name's Tyrone Shum and thanks very much for coming on tonight. What I want to share with you inside today's webinar is free tools to optimize your niche website, and I'll be sharing with you 15 different plugins to be able to insert into your WordPress site that I've shown you. Now, I want to get straight into it, but before I do, I want to give you an overview of what we've done over the last few weeks. And I do welcome to all the people who have just come back on from last week, and also welcome to the people who are new on this call tonight too. So before I jump into talking about free tools, let's just do a quick overview of what we've been doing over the last couple of weeks, just in case you haven't been following. I also want to let you know as well, there are replays available on the site. So if you did miss out on the previous weeks, that's fine. You can always come back and look at it on tyroneshum.com, which I'll share with you in a moment. All right, so the next thing I want to share with you is the overview, as I said. Let me just turn my pen on. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm just going to give you an overview of the last 2 weeks, so that way you can see what's been happening. So in the first week, I talked about how to find a profitable niche. And there was different things that I showed you. There was the 3 Ps that I used. There was eHow, ClickBank, and Amazon, and all so forth. All right, and those were ways that you could discover which one could be your niche, and you could have a look at what you currently do in your own life, and also to what other things that you could see on different markets on eHow, ClickBank, and Amazon. Now, once you found those things, we used a software called Test Market Samurai. Okay, sorry, we used a software called Market Samurai, and you could download your trial copy at testmarketsamurai.com. So basically, this is a trial copy that you can use for 7 days, free to trial. And I shared with you inside the first webinar on how to be able to research and find out whether or not your niches were profitable, and whether or not we should actually delve into these niches and set them up and start generating passive income for them. All right, so you can get a copy of testmarketsamurai.com right there. The second week, we talked about how to build your website. And in this particular one, I shared with you where to purchase your domain and also where to get your hosting. So those 2 things that you had to do: select the domain and also get your hosting set up as well. And as I mentioned to you in the last webinar, hosting won't cost you probably more than $7 a month at most, and domains also included in the package that I showed you. And you could get that package as well at go to Bluehost, which basically allows you to be able to set up your one package and also purchase the domain and also hosting. Now, these are very, very crucial aspects because this is going to be your foundation. If you have chosen a correct domain, the right domain based on your really good research, as I've shown you, then you should be up and ready to be prepared for this next phase, which is talking about installing the plugins. I also shared with you in the last one about applying a customized theme, or just a free theme that you can get, and just change it for your site. All right. So basically, just make sure those things are installed. If you haven't done any of these aspects and you haven't taken any action steps, I highly recommend you do them now before you do continue forward, because I'm going to be taking the next few weeks to go through in quite a lot of detail about what to do. And the whole idea is that I want to give you that week to be able to implement these things. And that's the reason why I gave you week 1 to do this, and week 2 to do that, and then week 3, which is today's topic, I'll be sharing with you. So just go ahead and go and get those things done, and yeah, let's move forward. All right, I'm going to close this up and let's just jump straight into it. What it is that today I'm going to be sharing with you the free tools. And all these tools that I'm going to be giving you are for your WordPress site. Now, just make sure that your WordPress is set up correctly. And as I said, go to bluehost.com to get that done. And you'll get 15 of these tools that I'm going to be sharing with you right now. All right. Now, let's jump into my system. Okay. So if you have already set it up, you should have something like this. I gave you a theme as well last time. It doesn't have to be exactly the way I got my graphic designer to design a logo and also just this little banner here. But essentially you'll have the same format and the layout if you're using that same theme. And pretty much you should have a blank page without any content. Don't worry, I've been putting content on to us because we're moving forward probably about 2 weeks ahead of you. But essentially we have the same things that we have here. Now jump into the back end, which is the dashboard here, and I'm going to share with you what to do to add plugins or add your tools. You'll see over here on the left hand side, this is where we have a section called the plugins. And you can pretty much install as many plugins as you want. But I'm going to recommend only these 15 because these 15 are the ones that you'll be using inside these webinar series. So to add a new plugin, simply click on Add New. And what will happen is I'll open up a new window. Excuse me. Inside that window, you can just type in the plugin that you're looking for. In this instance, I'm going to share with you 15 different ones. And you can go through this manual method to install it. Let me just give you an example. So the first one is advertisement management, and I'll click on search plugins. And what will happen is that it'll go back to WordPress's database and find it. And just make sure that the one that you picked is advertisement management. And you just click this install button, and what will happen is ask you to install it. Just answer yes and get it installed. And that's as simple as that. That's how you install a tool or plugin that we're talking about. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you exactly how to go about setting these up and what these are all about inside this whole webinar. Also note as well is I'll provide you a whole list of these ones on my blog. So that way, don't worry if you haven't taken the notes down, but I'm going to go through these in detail, and that way you can get an understanding of how this all works. So let's have a look. The first one is called advertisement management. Just make sure it is advertisement management, not the advertising manager, because people have got that one mixed up. So it's advertisement management. And I'll get you to install this first one because the reason why is you're going to be using this later on to pretty much put on advertisements on your blog or on your niche site to generate some income from Google AdSense or other affiliate marketing products as well too. So that's the first plugin, first tool that I recommend you install. And there are other plugins that I'm going to show you. So let's just jump over to my plugins. To save time, I've reinstalled them here, and there's 15 plugins that I'm going to run through with you to install. And you'll find that these are probably very, very easy to do. So just go through that same process as I mentioned to go and click on Add New and install these plugins. As I said, the first one is Advertisement Management. The next one is AskIt Med, which is the spam protection tool. What it does is that it will block out any spam. You know, you get those kind of comments that say, this is a great blog, or check out Viagra, or go over to this site. Those are all spam comments and you don't want them on your site. So what we'll do is that this plugin will automatically filter it for you and then either delete it for you after 30 days if you set it up that way, or just leave it in your spam area. So basically get that one installed and then have it activated and go over to basically WordPress to sign up for an account to do that. So that's the second one here. Third one is an all-in-one SEO pack, and this is the one that I was talking about as well too. All-in-one SEO pack is very, very powerful for you because what will happen is that it helps you optimize your website to search engines. So that way, if the search engine's searching or crawling through your blog, you'll be able to have it optimized for that. So what I'm going to do is I won't go through these yet, but I'm going to go through, for example, this one here. And I'll go through these individually with you right now, so that way you can see what it's all about. So once I've installed all-in-one SEO pack, I'll jump over here and it will show you all-in-one SEO pack. So click on there. It might be actually better for me to just explain to you everything in a moment. So let me run through this one with you first. Now, once you've installed it, it will ask you to activate it. And what you've got to do is make sure you click on this button here that says enabled. Once you've ticked that, the all-in-one SEO will be activated. Now, I'll give you some tips and points on what to do to set it up properly. The first pointer that you need to do is for the home title, it says here, put in your title of the page. So what I've done is I put in my keywords, which is quickest way to lose weight. And you'll notice that if I jump over to the front of the blog and you look at the top of my screen where my arrow is, it says quickest way to lose weight. That's what goes up there. That's the heading of the title of your website. And what I would do is also to put at most 3 different keyword terms that you're targeting for. So in my example, I would probably be looking at targeting body cleansing. That's another one. And also to detox diet. Okay. So if you've gone through and you found your main keyword, which is the keyword that I assume that you've been doing through Market Samurai, then the second one, or your sub keywords that I recommend you do, if you remember from the first webinar I was discussing that with you or sharing that with you, you can put them in here as well. That's one way you can go about doing it, is putting your main keyword, then your sub keywords. There's another method that also too we've been discussing or sharing with other people as part of the students that I've been teaching and coaching, is you can put in a different format or a different way of writing it. So lose weight fast would probably be another way to rewrite the title of the keyword, or lose fat quickly. Whoops. So that's another option. You can put it in 3 different terms, and if those are the keywords that come up or are rewritten for that main keyword, then you can put that as your title. So I'll leave that as it is right now. That's an example of what you need to do to optimize your home title. Then make sure you do enter in a home description. This is crucial because what will happen is when you optimize, or Google optimizes your site and ranks it on Google, this little part that you see right here will be displayed on the Google listings. I'll give you an example. Let's say, for example, we go to google.com, and if you type in, let's just try this keyword, quickest way to lose weight. I know I'm not ranked at the moment because I still haven't done much optimization. But as you can see, when I've typed in quickest way to lose weight, it comes up as being the first question that people usually ask for. So we'll click on that and search it. Now you can see that there are people already searching for that. And also too, this person that's written it is already ranked up there. Now these are not very well optimized, but this is probably better optimized than most. You can see right here, they've got the top of the heading, which has got the keywording, quickest way to lose weight. Then they've got a pretty good description. There are 3 things you must have in order to lose weight quickly. Standard cardio is not one of them and is not the quickest way to lose weight. So that's what you want to do, is put a description in there, which will be optimized for your homepage. And furthermore, to include your keyword in there, which is what they've done as well. So let's just go back in there. Basically, what I've done is learn different ways to lose weight quickest or quickly. Obviously, I can't spell and my grammar's not too good lately. From detox diets to exercise and fat burning tips. This is the quickest way to lose weight. Find out more. Okay, so that's what would be displayed on Google, and it's exactly what you see that would be underneath your heading listing, which is very important because that's where you want to be able to capture their attention, whoever's looking for it, to be able to click on that link and go straight to your website. So that's the home description. One thing I want to mention as well for you is that make sure you keep it within 150 characters. Sometimes it's 160, but 150 characters would be ideal, because if it's more than that, Google will just simply chop off. Okay, so that's the home description. Then what you want to do is, in your home keywords, definitely put your keyword in there, quickest way to lose weight, which is in this example. Other sub keywords that you're also optimizing for, and anything related to that niche topic. And that's definitely an important thing, to put these keywords in there. All right. So that's the 3 parts there that I highly recommend making sure that you do optimize correctly and properly. The next parts down here, as you can see, are just all the standard. So I wouldn't recommend changing any of these, just leave it the way they are. And once you've done that, scroll down to the bottom and click Update Options. So that's the all-in-one SEO plugin that I've just updated. And once I update it, we can just jump back to the front end and you can see the changes in action. So I'll just go up there and I'll click refresh. And what will happen is that at the top, as you can see right now, it's changed quickest way to lose weight fast, lose fat quickly, etc. And you won't be able to see the taglines or any of that, but essentially it will be generally optimized for Google for you, and that's what Google will see. All right, let's just jump back to the plugins, and I'll run through with you the rest of the plugins that I've got here as well. All right, let's have a look here. Cool. I've gone through and I've shown you about all-in-one SEO plugin, SEO pack. For now, don't worry too much about what advertisement management does, but install it first, and I will definitely show you what to use it for in our monetization webinar, which will be coming up in a few weeks' time. And in there, I'll show you exactly what to do with it, but just have it installed so far. The next one I want to talk about is Clicky for WordPress. Clicky for WordPress is I'll say it again. It's a statistic tracking software which tracks who is coming to your website. And I have to give credit to Pat Flynn from Smart Passive Income for sharing this with me. He's just recently implemented it onto his blog, and we've been talking about implementing this onto our niche websites. So I would highly recommend checking out this little plugin, which is Clicky for WordPress. Install it onto your blog. And also too, you'll need to go to another site called Get Clicky. Now, everything I'm sharing with you here is all free, so you don't have to worry about paying for anything. But if you do want to get updated or upgraded versions up to like the Pro version, which gives you even more stuff, then you can pay for it. But you know, all the stuff that I'm showing with you is all free. You don't need to spend money on any of this stuff. Okay, so let's have a look. Go to getclicky.com. And what I would do is simply just click on register for a free account. And once you've registered for a free account, what you want to do is add in your details. So I'll just maybe give you an example. So register. I haven't actually done this for quickest way to lose weight as yet. So let's just do this. And this is very much like Google Analytics. The only difference is that it's a lot more detailed and a lot easier and cleaner interface to look at. So that way you can see what's going on. So I'm going to just put in my email address, which is contact@quickestwaytoloseweight. And I'm using at the moment a pseudonym. So quickest way to lose weight. Best thing to do is if you're planning to expand and do plenty more of these niche websites, what I highly recommend you do is use the keyword that you have for your username, so that way you don't lose track of all the different accounts. Because obviously if you want to set up say a Clicky account for each individual one of your websites, which you can do, then you want to make sure you do remember them. Now Clicky only allows for one account per website. If you do want to pay for the Pro version, it allows you to set up a few different websites. But since I said if you're just setting up just one, this is fine to do. So let's just do that. Let's just add the details. .com. Okay. So I've entered all the details and I'll click register. And what will happen is that it will register a new site. And that's it. It doesn't take long. And as you can see, it says quickest way to lose weight has been added. You can change the default settings or grab the code here. Now, I don't need to change much of this. The only thing I would probably change is just my time zone, because I'm obviously not located in the States. So I'll change to Sydney and leave everything else the way it is. So I'll just submit this and save it. And what will happen is that it'll bring you to this screen here, which is where the code is. This is pretty important. You can copy this code and paste it into WordPress manually, but you don't need to do that because we've got the plugin which will allow us to be able to add that code, special code into it. So I'll just leave this here for the moment and we'll jump back into WordPress. All right, so that's Clicky for WordPress. Do this, set this up first. That's the first thing. Go to clicky.com, set up your account, have this all running, and then I'll show you right now what to do to add it. So Clicky for WordPress, if we click on settings, you'll need to just add in a simple 3-part thing, which is basically your, let me show you, API key or something like that. So that way it can track. There we go. It will ask you for its site ID, site key, and also admin site key. And you've just got to go back into your Clicky account and get those details. So it tells you the instructions of where to go. Go to user homepage on Clicky and click preferences under the domain. At first, when I tried doing this, I got lost. So I apologize up front right now if I can't find it straight away, because for me, I can't remember exactly where it was, but I think it was here. If I click on preferences and scroll down to the bottom, and I think it's under here, under preferences again. Oh, there we go. Whoops. Perfect. So it was there. Oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Okay, so yeah, so you click on preferences and you'll see that here you'll be given your site ID. So just copy that across, which I'll do right now, and I'll paste it. And yeah, and put that in there. As you can see, I'm really giving you the how-tos of everything. I'm not holding anything back for you. So you can come back and rewatch this webinar at any time, and hopefully you'll be able to just implement this as well for yourself. Whoops. And click paste. And there we go. Once you've done that, simply scroll down and click update clicky settings. You're most welcome to add your Twitter details and all that, but I don't bother with that at this point in time. It's not necessary. The most important thing is to get Clicky working, so that way Clicky can now start tracking what you're doing on this website. And the beautiful thing about Clicky is, I'll just jump back to show you. Seems like it's just moved across over here. There we go. The great thing about Clicky, if I can just put this back in here, there we go, is that it's a very, very, very detailed. At the moment, there's obviously nothing that's showing, but if you guys came over and started clicking on my site, I'd be able to instantly see what you're doing, because it's a instant live update. You don't have to wait 24 hours like with Google Analytics. You have to wait 24 hours for it to show up the update stats. You can actually see what people are doing. You can see where they've gone. You can see how long they're spending on a site. It's a really, really cool, neat tool. And you can even see which country they're from and all that. And it happens instantly. You don't have to wait for 24 hours, whereas Google you do. All right, so that's Clicky for you. Definitely install that. The next tool, we're going to jump back into plugins, is I'll be showing you is, let's have a look, is the contact form. Okay. It's loading up right now, and on the left-hand side, there we go, the contact form. Now, you might be wondering, oh, there's silly contact forms. I don't want to create one for myself. Well, this plugin allows you to create a contact form, which allows anyone to add their fields and so forth into it. So I'll show you there. It's contact form 7. Just remember to add that in there and do a search in the plugins. And if you go to contact on my contact page, it should be already installed there. This is an area where you don't have to leave your email address or any personal details, because spammers will come through and take your email and spam your email address. This is the most neatest and simplest way for anyone to send details to you. And all you have to do is just install the plugin, add this to your contact page, which I'll show you in a minute what to do. And this will create your name, your email, subject, and your message. So if anyone wants to send you anything, they just click send and it'll forward it straight to your email. Let me show you what happens. So if I just go to pages right now, and the beautiful thing is that contact form 7 is very customizable, so you can click on it anytime to change it the way you want. So I'll click on here where it says contact and edit it. And right now there shouldn't be anything showing the visual tab, but if you click on the HTML tab, which I'll click on in a minute when it finishes loading up, you'll be able to see the code that you just got to simply copy and paste. Oh, actually, it does it there already for you. So you can pretty much just put in anything you want. Thank you for visiting, blah, blah, blah. And then insert your code, which is contact-form1, contact form1. And this is just basically what you need to do. And it'll be provided for you inside the contact form 7 plugin. So when you go to the settings area, it'll tell you to it'll give you instructions on how to add that into your page. And you can literally add it to any page that you want. For me, I've done it obviously on my contact page. If you want, you can put it on other pages like the about page, for example, but I've just obviously put on the contact page. All right. So that's the contact form 7. That's a good plugin to install. Next plugin I'm going to show you is a sitemap plugin, which basically displays your whole sitemap for you. And it's called Dagon Design Sitemap Generator. I would highly get this one installed too, because what will happen is that it will generate an automatic sitemap. Now, for people who don't know what a sitemap is where it shows you everything inside your website. So if I click on there, a sitemap, you can pretty much see all the individual pages that are on the site. And it's really great because for anyone who doesn't want to go through and click on different links, they can just at a glance view here and go, okay, there's categories, there's articles that I like, I want to just go straight there. And you can see how it's all separated, and also separates all into pages as well for you. So that's pretty much the sitemap there. The great thing as well too is if Google crawls through and sees that sitemap, it will also index that as well. But there are other other tools that I need you to install as well to be able to index to the sitemap in the way Google wants you to. So I'll share with you in a second about that one. All right, the next plugin is Easy Privacy Policy. Have you ever wondered about creating your own privacy policy? Well, in the niche site that you're going to be creating, you need to have one. It's important, and it's something that you need to make sure that it's installed. The reason being is because you just have to be disclosing due to the FTC rules and also all the online stuff that you have to do. It's important to protect yourself. So just pretty much install this little plugin, and it will have all this all done for you. Easy as that. You don't have to go about there and copy and paste from privacy policy. It will do that automatically for you. All right, so it's perfect. And it obviously says it's AdSense compliance as well too. So you can change it the way you want. That should save you a lot of time. Now, exclude pages from navigation. That's another plugin that's really powerful. Say, for example, you wanted to add a separate page here that was saying lose weight, but you didn't want it to be displayed here. You don't want it to be shown on the top there because it may confuse your visitors, and you don't want it to be displayed on the bottom here as well. So what it does is this plugin, at any time you call it to, anytime you turn it on and use it, exclude pages from navigation, is that it'll tell it not to turn it on and don't put it on the front there. So you might want to create a specific page that's called, I don't know, like lose weight, as I said in this example, and then pretty much not show it to people, but you only want to send it out as a link. It might be just a landing page. It might be anything else that you might have for a sales page. So that's important to have, and I highly recommend installing it. It's very, very handy to have. FD Feed Burner plugin is the next one that I recommend installing. FD Feed Burner is basically your feed. What it is if you if you type in feed, I'm not sure if it'll show up on my computer, because what will happen is that it may just take me straight to the Google. Yeah, it will take me feeds.feedburner.com. So it'll take me straight to Google to add it onto Google. But essentially what happens is that feeds.feedburner.com is the Google feed, or a very large feed service. And I highly recommend you set up one over there. Let me show you where to go so that way you can set it up. So if you go to FeedBurner, I'm pretty sure for people who already have blogs, if you yourself have a blog, that's great. You probably know what FeedBurner is already. But essentially what a feed does is that it allows anyone to be able to subscribe to your feed and see all your feeds or all your posts inside your website or blog at a glance, instead of having to come to your website and visit it. And it's a very fast and quick service which shows you all the different posts that are inside one blog. And you can have 100 blogs inside your account when you read that and easily access all the content. So what we want to do is make sure that we have a feed created, and you just simply go to feedburner.com, set up with an account using your niche account that you set up. If you haven't set one up with Google, then just set one up. And once you set that up, it will ask you through a few questions on what to do. Now, if I find a tutorial on how to set up FeedBurner, I'll provide that as well on my website, and you can check that out anytime. And I might have one, so I'll have a look for you and dig around. Because to set it up and to show you will take a bit of time in this tutorial or this webinar, and I don't have a whole day to be able to share with you. So I think I've got a video somewhere. All right, once that's set up, essentially what happens is that you'll get this something like feeds.feedburner.com / like quickest way to lose weight. And that's what you'll get back from them for your feed to work in FeedBurner. Now you don't want to display that onto your site. So what happens is that if you install this plugin, FD Feed Burner plugin, it will convert that link right here back into quickest way to lose weight /feed. And that's basically what it just does for you. And that's an automatic plugin that does that. Now, don't worry too much about what this feed is all about, because I'll be showing you how to use it later on, because we will be using it later on to get our content syndicated out to all the different networks. So that's some extra little stuff that, I'll be showing some ninja stuff in here. All right, let's go back to the next plugin, Google Analytics for WordPress. Now, you might be wondering to yourself, why the heck am I installing Google Analytics and also Clicky? The reason being is because it's just more of a backup service just in case anything happens. I mean, not that anything will happen, but it's also good to see from Google's point of view exactly what's happening for your Google Analytics. Now, if you haven't got Google Analytics set up, simply go to www.google.com/analytics. Whoops, there we go. And once again, just go through and sign up with an account and set it up. It's very easy. Just follow the instructions and you'll be able to do all this quite easily. Once you get that up, you'll be able to jump back into the plugin and simply click on settings and just add your Google Analytics code into there. And you'll be up and running to track all that. So you'll have two tracking devices on your site, one from Google Analytics and one from Clicky. And they both just works as well, but I recommend having both of them because then you can also see from two different points of view of what's happening, because sometimes one analytics might not track whatever they want to track as well. Next one is Google XML sitemaps. Now, as I mentioned, to install Dagon sitemap, the Dagon sitemap is for visitors and users. The Google XML sitemap is for Google robots to read your site. So that way it can index your site and index all your pages on your on the Google search engine. So once you install that, what will happen is that you'll go over here and it'll create this page called /sitemap.xml. So I'll type that in, and what will happen? This is basically a simple sitemap, an XML sitemap, which is a format that Google reads, and it'll list out all your links of all your pages and content inside Google and tells Google when this is updated and how often it's been changed. And what will happen is that this will be sent off to Google to be indexed and the robots to read this quickly. Most sites already have this if you've got a blog, but a lot of people don't realize how important it is. So install that, and then also too, you'll need to set up a Google Webmaster account in order to have this also respond to it. So if you go to google.com/webmasters, once again, sign up with the same account. You'll notice that we use a lot of Google here, and because Google's the largest search engine in the world, and also number one for most things to use, you could pretty much cross-utilize your email address to the same accounts, and simply sign into Google Webmasters and submit your sitemap there. And that's the fastest way to get your site indexed on Google quickly. And then what will happen is when you click on here to generate a sitemap, because what will happen is, I'll click on it for you first. What will happen is that if you've never generated a sitemap before, you'll have to click on a button, a link at the top to tell it to create a sitemap for you first time. Once you've done that, it'll automatically get submitted to Google for you. Okay, so basically I've already had one set up, but to create a new one, if you click on rebuild or generate sitemap, it will create a new sitemap for you and update it. And there you go, it says it's just been updated now. That's it for that one. So that's Google XML sitemap. It's not that hard to use. Jump back into plugins. Okay, we're nearly there. Nearly there. But I want to run through the last few because they are very important. Pretty Link Lite version. Now, Pretty Link Lite version is pretty much the link cloaker. I don't know if you've heard what link cloakers are, but you'll notice, I'll give you an example. Let's say, for example, I have an affiliate link. It might be something like clickbank.com/ comma, blah, 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 and then this really, really long link. Now, these usually are affiliate links which are given to you from affiliate services, and we'll be utilizing this later on because when we talk about monetization, you want to insert these into your site. Now, what happens is that if you use, for example, Pretty Link, which is this plugin here, you can pretty much turn that link that you see in here to something pretty that might be related to your product. So let's call it, say, quickest way to lose weight, / let's say the product was fat loss. That was the product that you're promoting. You can create a link just like that, and you can put that into your site. And what will happen is every time somebody types that link in there, it will redirect to that ClickBank link that I just shared with you there. A classic example is basically whenever someone says to you, feel free to purchase this from this link. Usually they cloak it like that so they don't see the affiliate link. And the reason why they do that is because firstly, people don't want to remember such a long, lengthy link because it's just too many things. There's all these complicated characters. And two, we do it so that we can track who are clicking on the links. And that's what this plugin does and it is allowing you to do. I'll show you if there's any examples in here that we've created. If you see on the left here, it says Pretty Link. We'll click on Pretty Link. Whoops. Let's have a look. Where are you? There we go. So I'll click on Pretty Link. And it's just loading up. Oh, we have. Fantastic. All right. My virtual assistant's been using this to create some affiliate links already. Good. Okay. Well, there's plenty of good examples. I'll give you this one here. This one's ridiculously long. So I'll click on this one, for example. I'll click Edit. And you'll notice, as soon as I open it up, you'll see this link from ClickBank. That's an affiliate link. See that? 72EE4 blah, blah, blah. That's a long link, which no one's going to remember. But if you said, go to my site at quickestwaytoloseweightHQ.com and type in the DSP ebook, for example, most people would probably either remember that. We could even shorten it down to D ebook or something like that. But basically, that's what this whole Pretty Link tool allows you to do, or plugin does for you. And furthermore, allows you to track as well what's happening. So I'll just click go back and I'll show you, there's some statistics there that gives you how many times the people clicked on, when it was done and stuff like that. Okay, there you go. So for example, this link here that we're talking about, the ClickBank, we had 13 people click on it. Sorry, 10 people click on it, but it's been hit 13 times. 13 means that there's 13 people who've clicked on it, but only out of the 13, 10 of them were unique. So therefore, there must have been one person who's clicked 4 times on that same link. So that's a really good tool for tracking and also great for future because we're going to be talking about using affiliates to generate income for your site as well. Let's jump back into plugins. I've only got, I think, a couple more to go. And then what I'll do is that I'll give you some action steps and overview of what we talked about, and then I'll jump into the Q&A session. Okay, let me show you. Actually, there's 3 more to go. So Smart YouTube is the next one that I recommend installing. Smart YouTube, what it does is simply allows you to insert your YouTube videos into the site very easily without having to copy any specific code. In YouTube, you'll find that there's a simple link. So it might be http://youtube.com/ like for example, this one here. This is a good example that I'm going to put on. It have watch . Now, if you go there, you can actually copy this whole link into your site and then just add a little V at the beginning of it. And what will happen is that plugin will automatically grab the code for you and put it into your site. So it will save you a lot of time having to put in videos into your site. That's only if you're going to be using videos. I highly recommend installing this anyway if you're not planning to use videos, because I would recommend at least creating one video to put onto YouTube to generate some traffic as well back to your site. So just install that anyway. Doesn't hurt to have it there. Now, the next one is WordPress database backup. This is a very, very important one. Helps you automatically back up your whole database. You know, if you've spent all your time setting all this up and then suddenly you lost it all, it'd be very devastating. And I know I've had that happen to me once. So what I recommend you do is install this and then set it up so that it sends the backup to you automatically on a daily basis. It sends it straight to your email, or you can save it onto your server. The safest thing to do is to send it to you via email. So I've just clicked on it and it's opening up right now, showing me the backup. And if you go straight down here, there are different options. You can schedule the backup down here to send it to you once daily, and you can send it to your email address. I'll do that right now and click schedule backup. And what will happen is that it'll schedule to send out the backup to you once every day. That way you don't have to worry about manually backing it up yourself and also having the backup done for you. It will automatically do it for you straight away every day. That's the backup. And then lucky last, let's have a look at the last plugin. Jumping back over here is I think it was called Yet Another Related Post. Yeah, there we go. Yet Another Related Post plugin. This plugin here, I should say, is very easy to use. Once you've set it all up, which is basically installing it, what will happen is if you go to any of your posts, let me just go back to the main page, it will add any posts that are related to the one that you've just published. And it's great to continue to keep your reader on your site to look at other stories or other blog posts that you've written or articles. So I'll click on this one, for example, the first one, and it should take me straight into our first article there. And if I scroll down here, still loading up. So as I said, at the end of each blog post, what it will show you is a post that's related to that one, and it will allow you to allow any reader. Okay, here we go. See this down here where it says related posts? What happens is that it automatically looks into your database and finds any of the posts that are related to this one that you've just clicked on, and it will display them there. And that's it. It's really popular, and it's a really good tool to use because people want to stay on the site to continue to read up on what you're doing, and will be happy to click on here and look at other things as well. And that's what that plugin does it automatically for you, and it helps really well for search engine as well. Whoops, sorry about that. Okay, so that's 15 plugins for you, and these are all free tools that you can use for your WordPress site. So what I recommend you do is either review this webinar and have a look at what I've just shown you, how it works, get it all set up, just follow those steps that I've just talked about. And what I'll do is I'll provide for you a zipped up file, which you can download directly from my blog and upload it into your WordPress site. So that way you can set it up instantly. And I'll give you an example what you've got to do. It's probably the quickest way is just to show you. Let me just go in. Say for example, you've set up your account at Bluehost and you've logged into what we call the cPanel. You would have received instructions on how to do that as well. And just simply follow through those instructions and to log into your cPanel. Now, I'm just going to scroll down and find an area where it says Files. And if you click on File Manager, that's where you want to go. And it will open up to a list of folders and directories. Most likely, your setup site would be located in public_HTML. Take note, this is a little bit more techy, but it will save you a lot of time because the fact is that I'll be giving you all the plugins all in one go. That way you don't have to spend time searching for them individually. If you do want to do it individually, that's fine. You can go through that process I showed you right at the beginning on how to add them manually. But what you've got to do is go into the public HTML directory. In my instance, because I've got a lot of niche sites, I have to go into the one which is quickest way to lose weight, HQ. And you'll see a bunch of files that are located here. The folder that you want to go into is WP Content. Double click on that. And you'll see a directory that says Plugins. Double click on that. And then you'll see a whole bunch of plugins that are there. These are all the plugins that I'll be providing in the zip file. So what you'll need to do is just simply click on Upload, that file that I provide for you on my blog. Add it, basically browse for it, upload it into your plugins folder, And once it's finished, you'll get a zip file, which I haven't got it here. But that zip file, you simply just click on it. Click on that. Just pretend this is your zip file. Click on that. And then click on the button extract. And what will happen is that inside your Bluehost account, it'll automatically extract all these plugins for you automatically. And once you've extracted it in one go, you can just jump back into plugins and simply select them all, like doing what I'm doing right now, and click on activate. That says deactivate, but just simply click on activate and it'll turn it all on for you automatically. And that will save you a lot of time having to do that manually. And then just go through the webinar to watch on how to set them up properly, like I've just shown you right now. Okay, so that's pretty much it on what to do and how to get those things. And as I said, I'll provide the zip file for you with all those plugins on my site, and that will save you a lot of time as well. All right, let's recap on what we've done today. Besides a little bit of a interesting hiccup today, a technical issue, I'm so glad that you've all stayed on today. It's been a real pleasure to be able to show you all these things. What I've done today is, because I don't have my pen turned on, I can't draw it. But I'll just recap. Basically, what I've done today is I've gone through and shown you each individual one of these plugins. So you've got 15 plugins that are located here. This is in preparation for your site, because what will happen is that once you have these installed, in the upcoming weeks, we'll be utilizing some of these plugins. And you'll be able to use it to track, you'll be able to use it to optimize your site, use it to advertise stuff. There's going to be a wide range of things I'm going to be sharing with you. And once you've got that all in place, it's going to be very, very easy for you to monetize this to have an automated passive income site. All right, so that's what I've basically done for you, is to show you all that and giving you some free tools. Now, what I want to do is to open up next for a Q&A session. If you do have a question on any of these things right now, feel free to ask me. You've got the questions box on the right-hand side, and I'll be taking questions right now. If you do have any other further questions and I can't help you answer it right now, I'll do my best to come back to you and help you with that as well. But it's Q&A right now. I'm happy to answer any of your questions, and feel free to put it into the questions and answers box on the right-hand side. All right, I'm getting a question through. So this is your opportunity, by the way, to ask, because a lot of times when people come onto the webinars, they have a question, but they're too afraid to ask. And if you don't ask it now, you'll never know what to do. And I encourage you, if you do have a question that you want to find out about something else, just feel free to ask it. Okay, so the question I've got from John is, how do you keep all these plugins updated once you get several niche sites? Great question there. All right, let me show you what to do. I usually get my VA to do it, but you can do this manually as well. From time to time, you'll have in the dashboard section up here where it says updates. See where it says updates? Click on the left there. Okay, and you can simply, if there's no plugins there, that's fine. But when there are usually plugins, there's just one button, which you select all the plugins that you want to update and just click on that and it just goes update. But obviously I don't have anything that I need to update at this point in time. The only thing I need to update is WordPress 3.1, but I don't want to do that right now, just in case anything happens. I just want to do a backup before I do that. Oh, that's the other thing. Make sure if you do update all your sites, make sure that you do back up first, and I've shown you how to do that as well. Now, if you want to get this done automatically, I think there is another plugin that can do it across, and that's, Tim says there is actually. There should be another plugin. I've yet to see that one. I don't know which it is, but I know that from memory somebody has mentioned that to me before. But this is probably the quickest way if you have, say, 3 or 4 sites. But if you do have a lot of sites out there, we could actually see if we can find it. No, let me have a quick look. I'll see if I can find it for you. And Tim says he forgets the name. That's fair enough, Tim. But I'll have a quick look for you right now, and I'll go through to find it for you. If I can't find it right now for you, don't worry, John. I'll post it up onto the blog, and I'll probably add it in for you. Automatic plugin updates. I just thought I'd type that keyword term in there, see if it comes up. Not sure if we'll be there. Global plugin update. Notice. That's the update plugin was enable automatic update checking plugins via the WP. Unfortunately, plugin has been withdrawn and plugin no longer works. All right, some people have done it, but it looks like they don't work with the latest versions. WordPress now displays. Let's have a look. Yeah, this seems like these plugins would probably do the job, but unfortunately they're out of date, and I wouldn't install them because they may clash or have some issues. Automatic publish highlights, restore automatic update. No, I don't think that these plugins have been kept up to date. That's probably why I haven't seen it. But yeah, that's probably the quickest way. I'd say just log in maybe once a month, or if you have a virtual assistant, which is what I'm trying to teach you is to outsource this to, get them just to go to updates tab in here on the left, and then click on the update button and just run the update. But make sure you do the backup before then. All right. Okay, next question is, how long does it take Google to rank and optimize your page to maybe page 1? Good question, Mark. I guess the only answer I can give you is how long is a piece of string? It's it's difficult because depending on what niche you're in, like as I mentioned previously, I had a niche that I could get into it, and within probably 2 weeks, I had it ranked first page of Google straight away. And then I've got another niche which I'm working on right now, and it's taken me almost 2 months to get onto the first page of Google. So it really depends on how long Google takes to rank, and you can't determine how long these robots crawl the internet because they go through millions and millions of sites daily. It's not just one site which is yours that happens on a regular basis. So it's a bit difficult to say. Though what I'm showing you is the strategy on what to do. And if you just follow these strategies and take baby steps daily, weekly, I'm very sure that you'll get there. And that's all I've done. I've got my virtual assistant team just to work on these sites daily and just continue to move it and grow it. So that's all I can really say to you at this point in time. All I can also maybe add is let's just keep each other accountable. I know we've got a good group here that's all keen and interested to do it. And at the same time, if you want to be kept accountable, more than happy for you to just post it onto my blog, leave a comment there, show me the site, and we'll all share it on the blog. And that way we can all help each other out as well. Might throw this question out to everyone actually. Would it help if I set up a forum on my blog so that way you can all hop on there and discuss with each other, share tips and ideas and what to do? If that's something that would work for you and you'd like me to do, I'd be more than happy to get that set up and put it onto the blog for you. So let me know if you think it's a great idea. Let me know and I'll find out and see who's interested and we'll put it together. Okay. Yes. Also, I forgot to mention. Yes, John. I'll definitely cover email management, domain management in future. Yes. Okay. I'll answer that in a moment. I'll answer the next question here is. Okay. Grant's asking, is there a certain WordPress theme that you or other niche site owners typically recommend when setting up a niche site? Okay. The one that I was recommending to you last week was a free one, which is this one here. I can't remember what it's called, but what I usually do is I like, in my personal opinion, I like Woo themes because I've used Woo themes a lot. And Woo themes is a premium WordPress plugin for your themes. Though, as I said, this one's premium, so you do have to pay a price for it. But there are plenty of free ones. And what I usually do is, as I showed you last week as well, to look up free WordPress themes. You can also look up free corporate WordPress themes. The reason why I put in corporate is because I find that they're a little bit more easier and well laid out in comparison to all the fancy ones. We don't want to be able to look at fancy themes and put them up for our WordPress blog or for our niche site because we want to keep it professional. So what I've done lately is I've just gone through and I look at, say, the 15 corporate WordPress themes. And in actual fact, this theme here that I've given to you and shown you where to download as well from last webinar is actually a corporate theme. So feel free to use it because it's nice and simple, it's clean, and also a lot of people seem to use that very, very well, and it's been effective for others. But yeah, you can check it out, like dobyweb.com. And back in 2010, they wrote about this. See these themes? These are pretty good. They're very clean, very easy to use. Once you install it, you can change and do features on it. In actual fact, I just recently set up a local business theme for my local business consulting business. I've been consulting local businesses lately a lot more, and I decided to just put up a website so that they can go there. And I'm just trying to find the theme for you. I'll just show you the theme that I used recently. It's very simple. I mean, it might not be to some people's liking or taste, but it's a very easy to use theme. It's called Satoshi. Some people may have heard of it. Some people may not have. There we go, WordPress theme. And it's a free theme that I've used as well, and it does a job for me. So I'll just click on there. And it's just loading up right now. Okay, there's the theme. That's the theme I've just used. I mean, it's simple, it's clean, and you could apply this to your WordPress niche site as well too. And that's all you need. We want to be able to keep it as simple and as clean as possible for you. That way, when your reader comes across and looks through your blog or looks through any of your topics, they should be able to be captured by the content. And then from there, if they're interested in buying your products, they can see that as well. So check that one out. That's Satoshi WordPress theme. It's a pretty cool name. All right, next question is, will you be covering building backlinks in a future webinar? Oh, yes, definitely. That's a great question, Mark. I'll tell you, I'm having a look at it right now, is that week 5, which is coming up in 2 weeks, I'll be talking specifically about building backlinks. So that's called Traffic Generation Strategy, Part 1, which is in week 5. And week 6, I've got Traffic Generation Strategy, Part 2. Those 2 weeks will be focused heavily on building backlinks. It'll be focused heavily on looking how to generate traffic from different sources. So yes, that's a definitely yes, I'll be covering very, very soon. Just one more week before I do get into that, I'll be talking about how to write your articles, and I'll be sharing exactly what I'll be doing with you next week on that one. So yeah, I'll definitely be covering it. Okay, next question is from John. Can you cover email management and domain management in a future webinar? Yeah, maybe I should just ask you, John, what do you mean by specifically about email and domain? Are we talking about how to, yeah, maybe if you can just elaborate on that, so that way I can assist on that. And I'm happy to cover anything that you've asked me actually in future webinars, because I want to try and make it as easy as possible for you to set these things up, keeping track of what you have. Oh, okay. That's a good question. Well, basically, you're saying how to manage, say, like 5 or 6 different sites you're talking about, or like 10 sites if you had 10 of them in a niche, keeping it all together. Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. I can definitely do that. Why don't I put that down, and maybe I could probably run through it in the last week, which is week 8, because I talk about how to outsource the niche website process. And that sort of would relate to regards to managing all the domains and also managing your emails and pretty much the systems on how to keep these automated, so that way your team manages it for you and you don't have to do that. So yes, definitely I'll write that down. That's a great question. Okay. Let's have a look. Any other questions? Nope, it looks great. All right. Well, I've gone a little bit over time today, and I really appreciate you taking your time out. I know it's been daylight saving, so therefore I had to move the time half an hour later for today. And as you can probably know, that's why everybody came on a little bit late. But yeah, we got through, and I'm really excited for you for next week as well. Now, before I do end the call for today, before I do end the webinar, I just want to give you a quick idea of what's going to be happening for next week, so that way you can be prepared for next week. And also too, that I encourage you to go and get this started with regards to setting up all these things for your site, because for you, obviously it's going to make a huge difference. And also too, that you don't have to be falling behind, because I know I've coached students and we've given them step by step on a weekly basis and try to keep them accountable, but they still fall behind. So if you can just implement these little things every week that I teach you and show you inside this webinar, you'll be miles ahead of other people. Okay, so next week, which is week 4, I'll be talking about creating highly targeted content to attract readers. And basically, this particular webinar is going to be all about content creation. This is pretty much the crux and the meats and bores and the full strength of where your website's going to be, is to produce good, solid content. And you don't have to do all this content yourself. I'm going to be sharing with you ways to be able to find content writers for you. I'm going to be sharing with you how to write content and multiply it, so that way you can leverage just not one and create, say, like 30 of these articles out from just one article. So there's going to be a lot of things I'll be covering, and make sure you do come to that one, because this is going to be the core of your whole niche site, passive income blog, okay, or niche site, I should say. All right, I'm going to wrap it up tonight. Thank you very, very much for coming on. And yes, I'll just answer that question for Lisa. Yes, it will be replayed, available. So don't worry, I've recorded it and I'll definitely be posting it up. Most likely, so far with my schedule and with my team, I can try to get these webinars up for you by Monday of the following week. So for me right now, it's Friday. I know it's for you in these States is Thursday. So I'll try to get it up for you by Monday of next week. So most likely it'll be Sunday night, US time. And then by Monday, you'll have all the details plus the links to all those plugins as well. Okay, so we'll definitely keep in touch. If you do have any other questions and you want to ask me anything else, feel free to leave it on the blog at tyronshum.com. Leave it as a comment and I'll do my best to answer it for you, and we'll get back to you. Okay, thank you again for attending tonight. I appreciate you taking some time out to learn about this, and I do hope that you will take that action to implement these stuff. And that's all I can do, is encourage you to continue to do that. So keep it up, and I'll see you next week. Have a great night, and bye for now. Now, if you like more resources like this one, you can find them inside Mass Outsource Mastermind, along with video tutorials and step-by-step instructions showing exactly how I use them. To get a 30-day, no-risk trial membership to Mass Outsource Mastermind, simply visit freevideoset.com. Until next time, I wish you success in your quest for outsourcing.